Delhiites are battling a double weather whammy, severe waterlogging caused by incessant rain combined with floodwaters of the rising Yamuna River. The water level in the river remains beyond the danger level. Floodwaters continue to inundate low-lying areas and relief camps. Yamuna breaching the danger mark, causing flooding in few villages in Noida area as well. Water from the rising river has reached several areas of Delhi city, including Kashmiri Gate, Kalindi Kunj and ITO, all of them low-lying areas and in the vicinity of the river. Floodwaters have reached the key Delhi Secretariat. 8,000 people have been moved to tents, 2,000 have been shifted to permanent shelters. Massive waterlogging traffic jams have been reported across the city. Videos showed endless jams and citizens wading through the flooded roads.
इस वक्त हम लोग मयूर विहार में जहां पर सरकार ने रिलीफ कैंप बनाए हैं वहीं पर मौजूद हैं और आप देखिए जहां पर रिलीफ कैंप है ठीक उसके बगल में यहां पर पानी आ गया है। नाव यहां पर बोट तैनात है कि अगर कहीं कोई भी इंफॉर्मेशन अंदर से आती है, कोई फंसा है, ताकि तुरंत एक्शन लिया जा सके। रिलीफ कैंप जहां पर है आप देखिए ठीक वहीं पर पानी आया हुआ है। यहां पर चारों तरफ रिलीफ कैंप आपको नजर आएंगे और लोग यहां पर मौजूद हैं। कब आपको शिफ्ट होना पड़ा यहाँ पे?
हो गए 3 दिन।
रात से अगर हम अभी की बात करें तो क्या पानी कम हुआ है या बढ़ा है?
अभी कम हुआ है, लगभग 5 इंच कम हुआ है।
5 इंच पानी कम हुआ, मतलब धीरे धीरे कम हो रहा है।
हाँ, कम हो रहा है अभी।
अगर आप निशान भी देखेंगे तो पानी रात में जहां पर मैं खड़ा हूं यहां तक था और धीरे धीरे थोड़ा नीचे की तरफ उतरा है और अनुमान यही है कि अभी पानी धीरे धीरे आज के दिन में कम होगा, उतरेगा। तकरीबन 1.5 किलोमीटर अंदर ये रहते थे। देख करके अंदाजा लगाया जा सकता है जहां तक आपकी निगाह जाएगी यहाँ पर सिर्फ और सिर्फ आपको चारों तरफ पानी ही पानी नजर आएगा।
यमुना का स्तर लगातार बढ़ता जा रहा है, जिसको हम लोग भी मॉनिटर कर रहे हैं। यमुना के बढ़ते स्तर की वजह से आउटर रिंग रोड पे वासुदेव घाट और मोनेस्ट्री मार्केट के अंदर पानी आ गया है। हम लोगों ने ट्रैफिक डाइवर्जन का प्लान बनाया है और इसके लिए ट्रैफिक एडवाइजरी भी इशू करी है, मगर अभी हमने कहीं पे भी ट्रैफिक डाइवर्जन नहीं दिए हैं अभी। मगर अगर यमुना का लेवल बढ़ता है, पानी सड़कों पे आता है या बरसात होती है, वाटर लॉगिंग होती है, तो हम लोग ट्रैफिक को वजीराबाद से डाइवर्ट करेंगे सिग्नेचर ब्रिज के लिए। सिग्नेचर ब्रिज से पुस्ता रोड लेके राजाराम कोली मार्ग लेके आगे जा सकते हैं।
Well, the situation, in fact, is slightly better given that the water levels have receded as we've seen over the last few days or so. But remember, there are people who still continue to live in these tents, which are, of course, not too many in number, as well as our ground reports have been indicating constantly. But to tell our viewers, this is, in fact, a reminder that if you are making your homes on a floodplain, like many people of Delhi are, pictures are, in fact, from the farmlands right now, that what you see on your screens, then there would be a risk of the water entering your homes, and that's exactly what is happening in different parts of Delhi, because the areas which are inundated are the ones which are built on floodplains. Remember, 75% of the areas which are floodplains have been occupied and have been encroached upon, and that's a big concern in Delhi, like experts have been talking about as well. Amit Bhardwaj is with us from Mayur Vihar, which is, to tell our viewers who are not familiar with this area, not too far away from our Noida office right in this point in time. It falls in the East Delhi segment, essentially, and where the tents had been set up. Amit, the tents have been set up there. I saw yesterday that the roads had been blocked to an extent, and the entire road was full of these tents for the people who've been brought in from the floodplains and made to settle down there. Talk to us about the current situation right now in terms of the water level receding, because even if it does, it's not like that by the end of the day they're going to go back home. That's not happening, isn't it?
Well, Sneha, for people who live on the Yamuna floodplain in Mayur Vihar, from the entirety of this stretch from D&D flyover towards Mayur Vihar to Akshardham, the story of Delhi floods is completely different from them. While you will see people going back to their homes possibly in 3 days in Yamuna Bazaar, Monastery coming back to business within 2 days after the floods are over and the water level recedes, and the inundated or submerged markets become, as you know, normal, back to normal. But in Mayur Vihar, things will not change for next 3 months, at least so to say, because what happens is that this is the down terrain where you can see the water completely taking over the farmlands the nurseries which were located here, as well as the vegetable farms which were located here. And in hundreds of numbers, farmers live here, not only because of the compulsion of their economic status, but also because this is considered to be really fertile land in Delhi. And it also happens to be the hub which sends vegetable supply and the nursery supply to East Delhi, as you were also mentioning. What will happen is that while the other parts of Delhi will go back to normalcy, this part of the national capital, the water will continue to stay here because these are lower terrains. The land is quite deep out here, and the water will continue to remain here in stagnant state, and that will pose another threat, the threat of waterborne diseases, malaria, chikungunya, dengue, that could affect the residents who live here. And that is why many of them will be also forced to live on the streets of the national capital, like the tents which have been settled up, the nurseries which have been brought back to the highway.
That's
like
right. Amit, I'm just going to come back to you. In fact, in a moment from now, do continue to be with us, Amit. I'm also now going to go across to Sushant, who is at the Monastery Market, which has been inundated as well. Let's take a listen.
लगातार ये बोट यहाँ पर है लोगों की सुविधा के लिए। आपको तस्वीरें दिखा दूं कि जितनी भी यहाँ पर मकान और दुकानें आपको नजर आएंगी, वो आधे से ज्यादा इस वक्त यहाँ पर डूबे हुए हैं। तस्वीरें आप देखिए कि हालांकि यहाँ के लोगों का कहना है कि सरकार की तरफ से जो सुविधा मिलनी चाहिए वो सुविधा यहाँ पर मिल रही है, जो कि कई सारे सीनियर सिटीजन हैं जो बाहर नहीं निकल सकते हैं, उनके लिए यहाँ पर प्रशासन की तरफ से जो मील आ रहा है, खाना, फूड पैकेट्स जो है वो यहाँ पर बाकायदा प्रोवाइड किए जा रहे हैं। और खुद यहाँ के लोकल जो रेजिडेंट्स हैं वो इस फूड को घर घर तक छोटी छोटी गलियों के जरिए अपनी
those details in the monastery area. Right now, he is in fact in that market which has been shut down for days together now. But I'd like to tell our viewers that the monastery market area in the Delhi city is one of those places which is not, in fact, which is illegal in that sense because it violates several environmental norms. It's been built on Zone O, which is in fact violative of the orders of the NGT. It's actually a construction on the floodplains of Yamuna, and that's the reason why that market per se has been built illegally.